Hello and welcome. My name is Stephanie Downs and I'm one of the co-founders of the Fixit Foundation. And today I'm going to take you through an introduction of what it means to be a volunteer on our team, in particular for our Get Your Fix program. But before I do that, I want to step back just a little bit and make sure that everyone who's listening to this understands the magnitude of the problem that is out there and why the work we are doing is so crucial. Currently, we euthanize between 4 to 5 million cats and dogs in our shelters every year, which equates to 12,000 every day and 500 every hour. And so as we started embarking on this, we did a little research kind of looking back at what's been happening, what's been done, what's the history of this issue. And we learned that in the 1970s, prior to the introduction of low-cost spay-neuter programs, that we were euthanizing approximately 25 million cats and dogs every year. But because of low-cost spay-neuter, by the mid-90s, they were able to get that down to approximately 5 million, which is still horrible, but obviously a significant improvement. What was most interesting was to find that in the last 15 years, the number has plateaued. And so we also learned that approximately 25% of the United States continues to not spay and neuter their animals. So the 25% of the population is creating that 5 million, and for some reason, the message of low-cost spay-neuter is not getting to that audience, and we wanted to start trying to figure out why. So we did some of our own research, and we also looked at lots of other research studies and found that there's various reasons that people are not fixing their pets. And one of the most crucial, which you can see here at the top, is expense. And it's crucial in that it's a barrier that we can overcome. So you see the second one here, breeding. It might be difficult to convince people who want to breed their animals to get them fixed. But things like expense that you see here, that it's unnecessary because they say they're indoor animals, or down here that they haven't bothered, those are all things that we can get to with the right messaging and putting together strategic programs to get to those reasons for those people. So that's why Fixit was founded, and our mission is to end pet overpopulation by increasing interest in and access to spay and neuter programs, specifically in that final 25%. We want to target the people who are the least likely to get their pets spayed and neutered. So there are various projects that we are working on to break down the barriers to get the final 25% of the U.S. population spaying and neutering their animals. And one of our key programs is our Get Your Fix project, which is an online portal where families that need financial assistance getting their pets spayed and neutered can post a profile and tell their story, and then sponsors can come on and search through those profiles, and we match them with those families to help them fund their spay and neuters. In just a little over a year, we already have 8,500 people registered, and we are currently at a run rate of 600 new pet profiles being added every month. So there's 3 key things I'm going to take you through on this introduction. First, I'm going to give you a quick overview of how the Get Your Fix program works. Then I'm going to talk you through, if you became a volunteer, what types of activities would you be doing. And then I'm going to tell you how to get started if you're interested in moving forward. So a little bit on Get Your Fix and how the program works. So there's a couple key users of the site. First of all, we have what we call the owners, and these are anything from actual individual pet owners. Again, most of them we find are good Samaritans who've tried to help out an animal. They've taken in a stray. They've maybe rescued an animal from a bad situation. And then the second group is we have our rescues. We also have people who are registering that are rescue groups that have a network of people helping take care of animals, and they maybe need to get them spayed and neutered before they can get them adopted. And then we also have people who care for feral cat communities. They're doing trap, neuter, release, and they're needing some assistance getting these animals fixed so they don't continue to multiply in the wild. A second core component to the program are our sponsors, who are very crucial. And these are the people who want to fund the surgeries. And we have a range of people. We have our individuals who have maybe been supporting the shelter programs for a while and really like to see how their dollars are having a direct impact because they get to pick an animal and fund that surgery, and that's a very satisfying feeling. We also have rescue groups that will come in and pay for people's surgeries and help in particular situations. And then something that's been very interesting is we've seen clinics stepping up, which has been wonderful. Everything from low-cost clinics to veterinary clinics who will read stories, and they'll maybe email the people and say, don't worry about finding a sponsor, come to our clinic and we'll take care of you. So that's been really interesting and fabulous to see the community step up like that. So when sponsors come to the site, they'll be able to search through the various pet profiles using things like state or radius around a zip code, type of animal, and other variables. And they'll be presented with a list of animals that meet those criteria. And then they'll be able to drill in on individual animal profiles, such as you see here. When they look at these profiles, they get to see a picture of the animal, some overview about its story, and some of the basic information. And then they're presented with two options for funding that spay and neuter. They can either contact the owner directly and work out finding a clinic, or they can make a donation to fixit. So let me show you how those work. So if they were to register and they want to communicate with an owner directly, they set up a username, which is all that the owner is going to see, so we can keep their privacy. And then they can communicate with that person and maybe say, I see you're in Atlanta and I'm in Atlanta. I know about this one clinic. Go there. I'll give them, your first name, your pet's name, and my credit card, and we'll get this worked out. So they ideally, and this is the way we really want the process to work, because we are an all-volunteer team and we we only have so much staff, so we really like for them to communicate directly and work things through. But the other option, if they would prefer, is that they can make a flat $100 donation to fixit. And then we will reach out to that owner and find a clinic and help get that coordinated. And we set it at the $100 because some animals might be $150, some might be $50. It's a range, so we just kind of set that as an average. The third key component to the site is our clinic database, which we continue to expand. Currently, we have it primarily broken down by state, and we also specify low versus free clinics. So although Get Your Fix is a national program, it has a tremendous local impact in everyone's area. And the impact it can have in your community is, one, to increase awareness of low cost. It has been very interesting to us since we've started doing this work at Fixit to find out how few people in that final 25% are even aware that there are low cost options. It can have a huge impact in helping you educate your communities about this. Another key impact is that we're really helping low income people who care. It has just been heartwarming to read all of these stories and to see people coming to the site every day who have literally opened their homes to an animal, even though they barely can afford to take care of themselves, but that they've come across an animal in a bad situation. So it really gives you an opportunity to help good people who are trying to do the right thing. We're also bringing into the low-cost clinics the right clients, so to speak. We need to get into low-cost clinics the people who really need the low-cost surgery. And often you will, if you've spent any time at low-cost clinics, you would know that they frequently feel that their schedules are filled by people who could have afforded to go to a vet and pay regular costs. So, we're really driving the right people into the clinics. And we're also giving donors a way to have a direct impact in your community, which I think you will really find as you begin to talk to people about this program in your local area. They really like the opportunity to see a picture of the animal and hear the story and know the name of the family that they're helping. It gives them a direct ability to know exactly how their money is going to be spent. So now let's talk about some of the activities that you would be participating in if you decide to join our team. There are 4 key activities. The first being to build a list of clinics in your area. And this is something that you want to do up front because it's very important to understand what resources are available in your community. As a starting point, the first thing you can do is go to the Get Your Fix website. We've already, for a year now, been building a list of clinics by state across the country. So you can look and see what programs we already have in our database. And so if you go to our site and go under low-cost clinics, you'll be able to find that. So after you've identified what clinics we already have in our database for your local area, the next thing you'd want to do is start searching around on the net and see what other ones we could add into the program. You can also ask people in the local animal community, ask the local animal shelter. They're going to be a great resource to know what programs are available out there. And you're going to find there's going to be stationary clinics, there's going to be mobile clinics, there's lots of different options out there, and you'll want to keep as many details as you can. And as you gather that information, you want to be sure to forward it on to us so that we can continue to build our database for your local community. Another thing you can do as part of the local volunteer team is to help animals in your area that are in need. And how you do this is you register as a volunteer on the Get Your Fix website, and when you do that, you'll be given an access tool that will show animals in your area as profiles are added. So you'll be able to view these profiles and then communicate with the owners. You might be able to let them know about a low-cost program or maybe even a free program in their area that they might not be aware of. You'll also be able to maybe assist them in finding a clinic, or you might be even able to recruit somebody that you know to be their sponsor. You might see somebody that posts a profile of a dachshund, and you might know someone who just loves dachshunds, and you might ask them to be that sponsor for that person. So you can just kind of be the local feet on the street, watching the profiles, helping people get connected to clinics. Something that's really awesome about doing this as a local person is then you can really celebrate the successes in your local area. Because if you see somebody's profile that's talking about how they've called their vets and it's going to be $400, and then you just by emailing them, connect them with a local clinic, and they go and get that surgery done, that's a victory. Or if you get somebody to sponsor somebody. So there's lots of small victories that can happen, and you can promote all of those on your Facebook page or email your friends and family. Be sure to let Fixit know, and that helps spread the word and builds the energy in your local area about participating in this program. A third thing that volunteers do in the program is that you can distribute information in your local community. We have a variety of different materials that you can have access to. We have e-materials like PDFs and web banners and things that you can email to people, or you can, let's say you have a friend in the local area that runs a local newspaper or has a local blog. You can ask them to put up our web banners, and we'll get you all this information. We also have printed materials that we can mail out to you, such as brochures that you maybe could distribute in pet boutiques to try and let local pet lovers know about the program and how we're looking for funders in your area to help sponsor surgeries. You can also have posters. You can put those up in animal shelters and soup kitchens, other places where people might be going, that both the owners that need to learn about the program and the sponsors. And a final and very crucial component of the volunteer program that you could assist with is looking for local supporters. And I touched on this a little bit already, but finding local individuals that want to sponsor surgeries, and you can do this via social media. I've talked about by posting pet profiles in need. You can also table at local events. There's all kinds of dog walks and other local types of events that will let charities such as ourselves have a table, and we can send you out information that you would need. Also, you could go out and meet with clinics in your area, and both spay neuter clinics, and let them know about the program, and also veterinary clinics. Be surprised at how many people want to step up and help solve this crisis. So you could talk to them about discounts and various things, just letting them know about the program. And then you can also do small fundraising events. We have a program that we produce nationwide called Pamper for a Cause, and we can help you do one of these local events in a local salon or spa. And we also have a list on our website of other little things that you can do to hold little fundraisers and things to raise money to pay for surgeries that are needed by families in your area. So if you are interested in joining the team, it is a simple 3-step process. First, you just need to fill out an application on our website. If you go under the volunteer section on GetYourFix.org. Second, you will then be contacted by our volunteer coordinator to set up an orientation call. And then you simply get started. But we want you to know that coaching will always be available. So we will always be here. We will be checking in with you. We'll be providing you more information as you need it. It's a very interactive, involved team, and we are always here to support you as you begin to try and help your local community with this program. So if you have any other questions, you can contact Kelly Heckman, who also co-founded the organization with me and manages this program, via info@getyourfix.org. And please be sure to follow us on Twitter and Facebook. So thank you for listening to this introduction. We look forward to having you on our team.